Yeah.
What a thing to say. Well, it's that time of the week, folks. Time to join our man at the movies, Collie McFadden, with thanks to Eclipse Cinemas up there in Bundoran. And I tell you, he's looking like he's at a Greek wedding. The sweat's rolling off him. Is it warm in Bundoran?
It's very melty here in Bundoran, and
Very
obviously
melty.
you just dragged me out of the surf as a renowned water baby. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And I was thinking of that. And in my little office here, it is warm. It's one of those days we'd be glad that the Zoom only is from the waist up. You gotta keep yourself
Thank
cool
God for that.
downstairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think actually it's funny about this week's releases. I'm sure when they were planning this, they were going, right, we'll have this all the summer movies, and people will be going and seeing them despite the very sunny summer we'll have. I bet you they were saying. But once it comes to September and it's autumn, what we'll do a spooky, scary movie, which people like when it's getting a bit darker in the evenings. And then we'll do a movie set in the sunshine because people will be trudging through the miserable weather going, isn't it lovely to see a bit of Mediterranean sunshine? Instead, I watched this movie, the first movie, let me try that again, my big Fat Greek Wedding 3 this morning at 8 a.m. Sweltering. I was watching it this morning and going, this is, do you know the way you get those movies that they have the effects, the chair shakes and so on? I felt like I was in Mykonos watching this today. So
yeah,
I
it was
suppose,
hot.
Yes. And I suppose we'd show the clip first, and then we'll have a little chat about my big Fat Greek wedding. Although I think everyone knows exactly what to expect.
What has happened since my big fat Greek wedding?
Like I never left.
My father passed away, and his last wish was for us to visit his childhood village and reconnect with our roots. So we're having a reunion. We're going to Greece.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And by we, I mean the whole family.
Who wants souvlaki?
Paging souvlaki. Anybody by the name of souvlaki on this flight?
Aristotle, what?
I didn't know you were going to be here.
What are you doing here? They had an amazing date. She ghosted him.
A lot of coincidence, and that's only the trailer.
Yeah. Well, that trailer, look, that is the plot of the movie. And I say plot with, is doing a lot of heavy lifting there, that word, because I would say if there must have been a heavy investment by the Greek tourist board in this movie. But look, I don't think anyone's really going to it for a plot, right? In the first movie, the whole point was that she's from a very stereotypical Greek-American family, whereas, and we would recognize these, good part of these stereotypes. Big family, everyone gets involved. So, lots of Irish people would have enjoyed it too, especially Irish Americans would have said, yeah, our family, and sort of the romanticism of the old country is all part of our culture too. And anyway, so she marries a man from outside the Greek culture, and he has to get used to it. That's all fun and games. And there's the mad auntie and the interfering granny and all that sort of stuff. Now, we're a couple of movies on, and this time, the first time, they're going to Greece. And none of them have, none of the younger people have been to Greece before. And the older people are going back to see family. And they're going to meet a load of other Greek stereotypes that actually stayed in the island. And there is not one thing that happens here that you go, well, that's surprising, because there is absolutely nothing surprising at all in this movie. But I think most of the people who want to go and see this, the last thing they want is surprising. They do not want a twist where it turns out the nice Greek man is an axe murderer. Nobody wants that movie. It's not that movie. What it's a movie is, there's loads of beautiful scenery. There's loads of mad grannies and stuff like that make you laugh, and then say something very poignant that all the young people learn a lesson and go, yes, maybe it was better that way. And there's a lot of jokes about sort of Greek stereotypes that I think are probably okay, because a load of Greek people wrote the joke. And it's like when you're laughing at yourself, it's all fine. And everything is done with affection and love. And the camera loves this movie. The one downside about it was I was starving about 3 minutes in, because, it's part of the Greek culture that, food
is everywhere.
I have no idea what the food is. I've been to a Greek restaurant once, and that was in Toronto, of all places. But there's all this
very
gorgeous,
big into lamb.
All this gorgeous food, and the camera's just rolling over it, and then you're at a beach, and then there's more gorgeous food, and then there's a Greek Orthodox minister who turns out to be quite wise and helpful, and then there's more food, and you go, oh, that's gonna happen. And what's great about it is there's a couple of plot points where, you know, somebody's not getting on, and rather than the whole movie and then they make up at the end, about a minute in they go, do you know what, life's short, let's hug and make up, and everyone goes, grand, let's have some more food. And that's what the movie is. And I think people who like the original ones, and they might kind of go, maybe it's not as quite as witty or insightful as the other one, but it's like it's like having a luxury bath, you know, just sinking into it and going, isn't that nice? Isn't that relaxing? Isn't it pretty? You know, at the nighttime, they've all candles lit up in the little village, and there's quite a nice message in it about immigration and a new life in an area. And it's lovely, and everyone has a happy time, and everyone's smiling the whole time.
Just love
and as I said,
you absolutely love this.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was just.
I could just see you heading down to book a holiday to Greece.
Yeah. Well, I was just maybe it's too hot for me. If I can't stand Bundoran in this measure, I look at it from afar, or I gotta lose a lot of weight to go there because I just melt. But it was just nice. And I was going to be about 20 minutes in, I was thinking of being a bit, you know, it's not very insightful, or it doesn't have a lot of story. And then I went, you know what? Maybe not. It doesn't always need
what
it.
It is.
It is what it is. It's a nice holiday with your mad auntie, who is nice, even though she says some things you go, I wish you wouldn't say that. Although I'm glad you did. That's what it is. It's fine. It's lovely. And I think the people are listening will already know if this is for them or not. If you're kind of the, I want Oppenheimer, or I want Banshees of Inisherin cutting satire, this is not the movie for you. But if you just like a nice time, this is your movie.
It is The Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. When's that opening?
That's opening tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. Well done. Now, something I would have absolutely no interest in. Yeah. It's all yours. The Nun 2.
The Nun 2. And obviously you're a big fan of The Nun 1. No, I don't think so. Look, I'm going to use some words that you're just going to look at me. So this is part of the Conjuring universe, which is kind of part of, you're lost already, right? So it's all these scary stories, Annabelle, haunted doll, all that. And there was a scary nun. And, that's been used in lots of movies and very effectively because it's quite a scary figure, it's black and white in the shadows, and look at all these nice nuns. There's a scary one. She's going to jump out and frighten everyone. This, much like my Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, it's a formulaic movie, and I don't mean that as a negative thing. It is going to do exactly what it says on the tin. It is for probably mostly teenagers and people in the 20s who like going and jumping at having a scream, but having a scare in a movie that you go, it scared me because it jumped out, but none of this is realistic. There's enough scary things in life that are real. I don't want real scary. I want this sort of nonsense scary. And it'll be good fun, good silly fun. Now, because this only is coming out opening tomorrow as well, I didn't have time to watch all 3 movies today. So The Nun was the one that missed out because I just couldn't bring myself on this sunniest days to watch the scary movie during the daytime. But I will probably watch it. And I think it'd be good fun for people who like that sort of stuff. It's so not for you, but I think it'll be good crack.
It'll be good crack. Okay. Right. Are we going Disney again this week?
Yeah. So we're amping up now. We're getting a little bit more modern. We're now into the 60s, the early 60s, and it's 101 Dalmatians. That's the movie this week. And it was a few people said, Bambi or Snow White. Some of the other ones, people go, I like it. But there's so many versions of Cinderella and Peter Pan, I suppose. But now you're getting into one that people just light up. And funny, I was thinking about this one. Of all the ones that they've had remakes and other versions of it, it's probably the best one in that 101 Dalmatians is still brilliant. The old cartoon is still brilliant. And it was only when I was watching it today, I realized the end scene of it has a direct correlation to the end scene of a movie we reviewed a couple of years ago, Cruella, which is a spin-off of it, which was surprisingly brilliant, really surprised me. And also the live action 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close was also really good. And it is something that little people who love the story can watch it all the time. And it's such a part of our culture, really, isn't it? Because like it was done in The Simpsons, but also like even a certain Home Secretary in Britain is known as Suella de Ville. You know, like it's still part of the language. It was how you know when something is so successful over 60 years after it. I watched some of this today. It's magic. It is still magic. Those old Disney ones, there is stardust in it, and I will say the same thing next week, because next week it's the Jungle Book, Seamie. Like, you know, but maybe
I'm
the
coming
best,
up. I'm coming
maybe
up.
the
I'm coming
best
up.
soundtrack
My favorite
of all time. But yeah, this is just magic. This is it's very no, it's not the Nun. If we said the other two movies are good, if forgettable, there's nothing forgettable about 101 Dalmatians. It is just as brilliant whether you're 3 or whether you're 3 years and 60. It's great.
Okay. Missed it Monday this week.
Yeah, we've a nice little movie called Gran Turismo, which, funnily enough, arrived with very little fanfare, considering it's associated with such a big game, and actually ended up doing quite well on the quiet. And what it is it's a true story, because there were a load of people playing computer games, and they said, look, driving a racing car now is practically a computer game. It's less about physical turn and stuff. It's about quick reaction, pressing buttons. What if you got the guys who are brilliant at the computer game to drive the car? Could it work? And they did actually do it, and some of them won races. And it's that story. And people who love cars, I'm not mad about cars. I like driving. I would struggle to remember what type of car I've driven for the last 3 years. It's silver.
Worth the watch. Missed it Monday. Yeah. It's missed it Monday.
Missed it Monday, and it's only a $5. Yeah.
Yeah. Quick synopsis. I got to the cinema last night. I got to see Denzel Washington, and enjoyed it, I have to say. And
another movie with beautiful scenery in the background, isn't it?
Gorgeous, yeah, lovely. Yeah, absolutely. It was. It said it did exactly what it said on the tin.
Yeah, you would not mess with Denzel in this movie, would you? You would not annoy that man when he says, "Go away, stop annoying me." You go, "Yes, Mr. Washington, no problem." But it's done very well. People are really enjoying it, even if it is fairly full on, as I said.
It is full on. It is full on. It had a great crowd.
Yeah.
Night, actually. Yeah. Okay. Right. Quick mention on our outside broadcast we had in the cinema last Friday. It was indeed, and the threesome together, and we had a bit of fun.
I might have phrased it differently, Seamie.
Yeah. Oh no, that.
I might have said it slightly different, but yes, the three of us, as we said, like Spider-Man Homecoming, he said, clawing, trying to say that. It was lovely, and we have the video, and we might put it up later, will we? Sure, it was great fun. It was so much fun. Good for Shane to come along and Porrick to zoom in, and it was great to see him, despite the fact then Arsenal went on to beat Man United, but we will say nothing about that.
I always say nothing about that. Anyway, that's the movies this week. Collie, look, I'll get to talk to you. Get out there and enjoy the sun. Look at the state of I'm melting. It's only going to be 27 tomorrow. Okay. That's the movies. Yeah. That's Collie on movies. He'll be back chatting next Thursday here. Okay. And whatever you do, enjoy the movies.